Kasatu ni sangwa mbanka eha neha nimbasima abo kumpuliriza ninyo mugisa Kaleba Lawrence district councilor kuruga cyenjojo
amazina nibayetantwira nabo deo kandi nduga mu district ya Kitagwenda. Ekibuzo cyanje omwaka wa cyenda na mukaga tukatayirwa ADF omurijo neji ya Kaborore abantu bakafegwa ibintu byabo kandi nabana babona konka tibakatuwa kasete kona baryashashwa ryari mwaka ki hawereje imyaka kama 25 mwebale munonga izina ni Aheisibwa Rivera kandi district councilor oli kurgo magombora 2 nkanja na Kyegegwa nyowe ekiri kunshasha erizani nshankoli mu parliament ninyebuze kiri kutuma itwe abakura saba kazi bali kutereza amagombora 2 ninga 3 echo kintu ni kinduma munonga kandi abashija bali kubahe gomborremu kandi bakiza kutugambira batugambira ngo nitwa abakazi batwihireyo echo ni kimwe echa kabiri nolema nka member wa parliament nko utwine hati kabahenda Flavia na atwara district yona abashija batwara agenda na atwara departments really it pains me so much. Echo ni kimwe echa kabiri government netuhereza amashomero etuhereza marwaro ame musawo by professional ni kinshasha munongo kutuhereza amashomero bakalemwa kutuhereza mu ba teachers kandi abantu baliyo bashomire echo nacho nkabire ndaja ngo shonga yanje mu gitware president yabaryana watugambira tuyambeho abalema bakatugambira ngo abalema watunge sente za PDM nibakongereraho emitwara 5 namazima tugende tukigambira abantu mwebale muno banjira ngo namazima omulema yatunge sente za PDM miliyoni 1 baramwongera emitwara 5 reke mukinterere mu ngaro Aheisibwa Rivera oli kuruga mugombara yankanja na Kyegegwa rukunde gumeho.
Ladies and gentlemen, the president is about to arrive here to address you, and so we are not going to take more questions. Even the ministers who have been asked this question will answer after 2 other presentations. Without wasting time, I want to ask Honorable Matia Kasaija and Honorable Professor Ephraim Kamuntu to come and make their presentation. Honorable Matia Kasaija, my senior, the Minister of Finance and Economic Development, to come and make a presentation on the general economy, and then Professor Kamuntu talks about the Misevenomics. Immediately after that, we will have the Ministry of Works talking about the road infrastructure in Tooro sub-region. After that, we will have Honorable Frank Tumwebaze talking about the agriculture sector, and as soon as that is done, we are going to get the ministers to answer your questions. I can see Honorable Matia Kasaija is so engaged. Muleke Honorable Matia Kasaija. Honorable Kasaija, please. We are waiting for you.
Mbazo orunyoro nyandiki mbazo orujungu mbazo orunyoro abakuru b'edini abakuru bebitongole byona nayo twena abagenyi n'abashangirwoho amabara gange Matia Kashaija rwabyamwito urundi banyita kikawa nseri yaho hati nkwenda kubaha message which will calm you. The economy is very sound. When I did this, and this is almost about 2 years, I meant it. We are now trying to aim your economy to be 500 trillion. How? PDM is part of that equation. If PDM is executed the way we planned it, you will see poverty will go back, and demand for goods and services will also go up. And when it goes up, you know, the economy is a cycle. A cycle. You can shock it. When you shock it, it freezes, goes down. If you appraise it, they can come. Please. This man is telling me that he is calling people. Call them. We call them. Bring them. But to do what now? What do they do? By PDM. Abebembezi nywena, both religious and lay people, the people must embrace that scheme. I'm even ready to send more money. Yes. If I receive reports, somebody was telling me there that in their village there are about 60 people. They could not, about 20 could not get money because the man that had been sent could only go to 40 people. Once my son Galabs here makes a report and we go and debate it in the cabinet, I shall look for more money so that even those who have not got, they get. Mwampura. But let me tell you something else. What triggers the economy? Peace. Have you heard? Peace. omuri Tooro peace tubiyeta tuta obusinge inywe abasigazi abakyali bato, you may not appreciate baitito abagurusi. When Amin was brutalizing us, businesses virtually got to a standstill. Twatandika kwogesa engoye ebikora bya mapapali. Mumpulire? Ebikora bya mapapali. I can tell you I did that myself. But once security of person and property is granted, people have appetite. Because everybody wants money. Everybody wants money. I have not seen somebody who doesn't want money. You can put up your hand and say, Minister, you are telling lies. Me here, I don't need money. Everybody wants money to meet the obligations. To meet the obligations in the family, in your village, in your churches and mosques. So now wake you. Kambalekere 2 messages. 1, I'm repeating myself. Peace. Peace. 2, hard working. Everybody should be having something on a daily basis, particularly with our people in the rural areas, to produce a good or to produce what good there is. What is the opposite of goods? A service. Calculate. Don't just simply do. No, calculate. If I produce this, where is the market? Somebody was telling me this morning that she's rearing pigs. I said that's an excellent idea. But do you know who will buy those pigs from you? She couldn't give me an answer. But that also is incumbent on the leaders. On the leaders. Kanyo Kwambagambire, if you are right from the chairman LC1, you should be the standing person for people to copy from you. Banyumba nyiri abantu abandi bakera kunywa amarwa bakera kujasa kuloiteringi. No. Now elections are coming. If you have a leader who is not showing you the way the things we are talking about, I would advise you not to give him the vote anymore. Mutunga abalemi abakwija kuboleka ebintu kubikugenda. If we don't know, ask. Tooro, we are here. Ask. You can pick your phone and say kashaije kintu kinu kitire kikakinde message, or you can write a letter to me, or you can come to the office, but on appointment, because I'm a very busy man. I don't want you to come. Then in Kampala you spend 3 days waiting for kashaije. No, You are wasting time. That time is supposed to be done by thinking or acting how to make money. The money will come. Money is available. Money is available, but if you do not think about it, if you don't strategize, then you cannot. The money will run away from you, including your spendings. People, somebody will get say 10 million. Agura kiri, which is not adding value. That's wastage. So, bakama bange, ebyange nibyebyo, economy, ebyenfuna bikugenda maiso. We may get a little bit of a setup, but as long as we are in charge, be assured we shall definitely correct any mistake that has been done. Ninyenda kubalekera nywe n'obusinge bwa Ruhanga, nkwenda mugayiga hale, nkanyuka shaija nyundi mushaija mugayiga Ephraim ya can tell you. Nyine ente zange nke nkumi. Ente zange nke nkumi. I will not tell you the figure. Ato shabire million atano today. By tomorrow I will be bringing you 50 million shillings. It's the things. We may not have the same big piece of land, but even in a small piece of land, I can tell you I am doing it with my constituents there, especially the women. They are very wonderful. They do the job when you get money. But if you kwikara this kunywa amaru ago, aba amaru please mugende mpora gakuja no kubayita. Aba maruago gumaganywe mugegendereza. So nibyebyo muleke mugume. I'm firm this economy. As long as we keep the peace, it is going to move. But aliyo obulyakubi, thieves, abasuma. We know that. And I told the president myself in Tooro, civil servants, private sector people, cheating government money. I think we might have to go to Parliament to pass either a resolution or a bill. You are caught, the sentence must be very severe. You take money which is not yours, which you have not earned, the law should punish you. Because you are now omukwani munyaga abantu abakora esente iwe no ibabwiba. I don't have sympathy for that type of people. In Uganda, I'm telling you, let me conclude. God gave us a very beautiful country, fully endowed by many things. I have traveled Matiya Kashaiji. I have been north, I've been south, I've been east, I've been west. Namuli ntakagenda gani Finland, manya nanka Greenland nkatina yo butiti kunyita. Greenland ntikagenda yo atura yo obutiti, and I don't like obutiti. There is no country in the world, please, which is as endowed with resources as Uganda. I'm telling you, go in the encyclopedias and read. Ekitu kyatulemeseze lack of information, lack of technology. But abana baitu hati, many of them are .com. You know, mutabani wange, let me tell you. One day, nkamugamba Fred. No, not Fred. Karungi. Tell me the price of meat in New Zealand today. Na akakwata akantu two. In 2 minutes, Daddy, a kilo of meat is $4 in a minute. So, na bweki mushomesa na abana batunge amagezi ago nigugaratu ikaki omasheke ruhanga waitu aikale na inywe.
Munyikirize mwongere ngaro mugurusu waitu mwongere ngaro yahana yaterera kandi yatwoleka nti buli muntu asemereye gaigahara nkawe no kumukiraho nsima kiki webale bigambo birungi. Munyikirize nsobole kuraliza owekitinsa Alex Ruhunda kuija akatwara mu kikuongeraho webale muno kandi oraliza Professor Kamuntu nukwatwale to another level. Webale muno owekitinsa Alex Ruhunda the city man kandi kisoboka aboka Kyegegwa nili rembo lya Tooro yona. Webale muno.
Webale Honorable Bright, omulimo gwange mutaito ntugenda kwanjura orubazo orwa Professor Kamuntu kandi nagenda kuba nabazaho mu Sevenomics mwakahura ko mu Sevenomics. So nkimanyisa ngo entekereza ebyentasha omubwijwire eyekwatagana na President wihanga nentekerezaye habwenkurakurana yihanga erya Uganda na Afrika nabweki mtega amatu muhulirize Professor Ephraim Kamuntu. Welcome, Professor. Mumutere mugaro musaija abasaija baitu basomere bintu muhulirize kurungi.
Thank you very much for your kind words. Museveni oye! When I'm pleased I sing. Ohembo hembo hembe, ohembo murugwake, Museveni yaza kwija, ashanje ni guchaka. Ohembo hembo hembe, Museveni yaza kwija. Museveni oye! NRM oye! Uganda oye! Mwebare! Abakuru b'edini, political leaders mwena, protocol observed. I have come to Tooro since I was a young man. Nobuna kuzire nagumanisha Tooro. Kija har kumirwe na shanjura mwenda kubahumuriza. Har Taro. Nyine yaweri kaguta Museveni. Nagaruka. Nkaba national coordinator wa private sector development program to Ata Center Fort Potro. Konkanyi zire mirundi minja hand minister wa tourism. No wonder Fort Potro nubajata tourism city. Nakora n'abana banyu kabahenda yihishe. Kabahendo ryaha. She's a fantastic lady. Wogo mwishogo. Yeah. She's a fantastic lady. Nakora nogu. Nakora n'abana banyu. Nakora na Kafuzi. As a Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs at the Attorney General. Mbwana hatinija You can resume your seat, dear. Nakora n'abantu banyu butime. Nakora n'abahara banyu. When Hatneja in a capacity and the senior presidential advisor on economic and manifest implementation, you simply don't know how pleased I am to be back where I belong. Tooro hoye! Hati naija kubagambira kintu kimwe ekitakabahoga mu nsomu kwonka kibireho since 1894 abazungu bakuriyetinga Uganda ekiti kikabahoga kibireho hati in our time kibireho hati under NRM leadership kibireho hati under Yoweri Kaguta Museveni leadership. Uganda has achieved a middle income status. Bagenzi banje mu kiterero mu ngaro, this is wonderful. Think Majayan, I don't know whether you would appreciate to be a middle income country. Nchibanchi manjisangu tuwachiba third world. Nchibanchi manjisangu Uganda tiachiri least developed country. Nchibanchi manjisangu Uganda now is an enhanced sovereign state. Tuba tiachiri shamba gurare. Hatine hanga erine chitinisa is a dignified state. Echi tuchitungire in our time bagenzi banje mwete romungaro. Baganda banje, I wish you could know. To be a middle income country, friends, doesn't come that way. Kungamba middle income country bajirangu eito sento mumpare katakuskwata mukazitarumu. Mware wakumurukusha even now. No, you are clear. You are no longer third world people. You are now first world. This is wonderful. No, baru byoshire mukamugende sevigera tumwinekito okogende se ogenda gari hatu no genda na pichipichi okorwa oraro majuge binyansi hati oryo mugama bati oyisomero okogenda na mairo hati rukuhehi amashanyarazi no gareba. All that constitutes what has become a middle income country. And I want to ask the question, what has been the driver of this status? What has triggered this? What is the engine? When you want to know the engine driving Uganda to become a middle income country, the answer is Musevenomics. Musevenomics, hoye. So Musevenomics nenchi, what does it mean? What it means? Ninchikambo murungu nor Tooro. Musevenomics is an expression that has recently emerged to describe President Museveni's scientific approach to understanding how an economy moves through stages. Yes, the driver of this, you understand how the economy transforms. When you study Musevenomics, it has a historical content. An economy moves through what you call primary production stage, which is essentially agrarian. It moves to the second stage, which is production stage, including dominance of industry and manufacturing. The third stage is tertiary stage, where you have services being dominant. And the fourth is knowledge-based. Economy area majezi. When you applied this approach of Musevenomics to current Ugandan situation, then you critically examine Uganda evolution, the evolution of Uganda to the present time. And stages are, you look at Uganda at the dawn of colonialism. Abazungu wataki Israel Uganda kane shachi bagenzi banje. Second, noreba Uganda abazungu baheza kutegeka emyaka 50. And they were going back. How did Uganda's economy look like? You look at Uganda's economy during Amin's time. Matia Kasaija, you have made reference. Amin's time, we came here in 1979. We were here in 1971. We know during that time what happened to this economy. Musevenomics examines that period as well. Then Uganda's economy that NRM inherited in 1986. You know, that was the best. Since that time, you really want to know, to see the impact of Musevenomics in Uganda's transformation. Basically, Musevenomics is diagnostic. Just like the doctor examines the patient, understanding Uganda's economy in a Musevenomics terms, you examine, critically diagnose the economy, and you prescribe the solution. The goal is transform. And transformation is a technical word. Abokuba tujine science, tujine economics, tujine mathematics. And Museveni sometimes uses examples from biology of a butterfly. Nkokwe chihugugu, moving from egg to pupa to caterpillar, and finally it flies as a butterfly. Ni economy nukweri. Akozese example ejo kwoleka stages Uganda's economy is evolving through. The goal of Musevenomics, you recall the 10-point program. It aims at building an economy that is independent, that is integrated, and it is self-sustaining. Essentially, it is building an economy that is inclusive, that leaves nobody behind. You ultimately want to secure Uganda's future, where people of Uganda live in prosperity. That's the ultimate goal of Musevenomics. Just quickly, to bring the discussion into context, if you look at Uganda's economy at the dawn of colonialism, before the British arrived, Uganda as a country did not exist. There were 4 kingdoms, including Tooro Kingdom. There was Buganda, there was Ankole, and there was Bunyoro. There were chiefdoms across the country. Chiefdoms in Acholi, in Bugisu, in Bukedi, in Busoga, in Karamoja, in Kigazi, in Lango. All these were there. But these were entities. Entities diverse, with diverse differences in language, in culture, and in tradition. The British imperially put us together and declared us, called us Uganda. Friends, just think about it. You bring these diverse groups of people, you weave them into a thing called Uganda, and you administer it by force. Now, Musevenomics is both political economy. When you look at the core values of NRM, one of them is patriotism. These diverse groups cannot be held together unless you melt them into one nation. It is that core value of patriotism that you find me here with Anite, with Obua, with Todong. We are melted into a country called Uganda, and we are Ugandans, and we are proud of being Ugandans above our own ethnic differences. This is Musevenomics' emphasis of Pan-Africanism, of socio-economic transformation, of democracy. The British economy before the British arrived was essentially agrarian, peasant, dominated by subsistence production. And the medium of exchange was largely barter trade, the economy was not monetized. That is how the British found us. I have made an implication that Musevenomics is both a social, you call it a political economy, because the core values of NRM are part of Musevenomics. During colonial time, as you recall, the British started ruling us from 1894. They structured the economy to serve three purposes. One, to produce raw materials for their industry. Number two, to make sure there is some monetization where they can tax us and administer the colony. Number three, to create a market for their goods. So, to achieve this, they introduced things which we don't eat, but they serve their industry. They introduced cotton and we planted it. You don't eat it, but it served their textile industry in Britain. They introduced coffee for their beverage industries. They introduced rubber, tea, and tobacco. Later on, capital projects were introduced, including On Falls Dam, and the construction of On Falls Dam in Jinja was a big step, and Tooro cement, and they extended the railway from Kampala to Kasese. Furthermore, they established UDC in 1952, and they marked spearheading manufacturing
when you come back late from work.
Started hotels. Few industries were started. Sugar factory in Rugazi, Kachira, and salt processing. What resulted was what they call a colonial enclave. The enclave. The colonial enclave economy was an economy where you had limited products that produced cash, the rest remained subsistence. Consequently, the economy had few items in export basket, and subsistence agriculture remained the dominant economic activity for over 80% of Ugandans. That is how the British governed us. We got independence in 1962. And the post-independence decade started with the first 5-year development plan, which underlined agricultural development as a priority. Then the second 5-year development plan focused on industrialization. It featured significantly. So by the time Amin took over, there was an semblance of transformation because schools started, health centers started, hospitals started, some roads were tarmacked, but Amin took over in 1971. I don't need to labor this point because most of you were alive. Amin expelled Asians who were constituting a middle class numbering 80,000 and handed over their enterprises to Ugandans who didn't have experience at the time. The economy was rampant with shortages of essential goods. Inflation was 216 for those who take interest in records. They emerged a market called Magendo Market, a black market, and Kibanda Market. Magendo Market for essential goods smuggling. The Kibanda was for foreign exchange because there was foreign exchange shortage. There was critical shortage of essentially every commodity. Kasaija made a point, he had to wash his clothes with pawpaw leaves. That's how bad the situation became. Soap, sugar, paraffin, clothes, all these were in very critical short supply. So by the time 1986, when NRM took over the governance of this country, the economy was in ruins. So if you want to appreciate Musevenomics, you need to have this historical content of evolution. You need to know. Consequently, from that time to the present, friends, let us be clear. The hallmark of NRM's administration, thank you, Matia Kasaija, has been peace, stability, and security. That is the hallmark that distinguishes NRM from any other regime since the establishment of Uganda as a colony. And peace is not the absence of war. No. Peace is that your banana plantation and your bananas are safe. Your life is safe. Your cows are safe. You can assemble as you are assembling without any push. This is the essence of peace. And frankly speaking, we must take off our hat. Because if there is any commander-in-chief I have seen in my experience, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has put a bar of presidents very, very high. We come to macroeconomic stability. Thank you, Matia. Inflation has been controlled, exchange rate is stable, and economic growth, to quote you, is because the GDP per capita, the export basket, the infrastructure, all these, electricity, water, industry, manufacturing, all these have expanded. And Uganda is a middle-income country, even before oil and gas comes on stream. So take a moment and think, when oil comes on stream,
kandi tuturugenda kuruga hamaine tukusagika mzei oye NRM oye Museveni juu webale muno mzei
NRM oye Museveni oye amabara gange mbanye Tayisiga Brian ninzara mu district ya Kyenjojo mugombora ya Nyantungo umuruko gwa Kibera umukichweke cha Kizira nisima muno presidenti wetu wa Uganda habwo kuleta kinwe kitekereza ite kituhira rengo rundi cyateka rengo rundi nkaitu abasigazi nitukusima muno akiki twino hogarukira nyowo unalinde muka nkaba nisoma isomero nkamara P7 nagarukira musiniya ya kabiri baito bahizire corona tenasobora kweyongerayo obunali nyikalire muka corona ekyarumu natunge kitenso na mami wange na dade cyo genda aheru cyonko bunakozeseze passport corona yagaruka sente zange zagwaye zitwalitoyo hoize hona mbatubanza milioni na zona zagwaye kagaruka muka na ikara bangamba tusere yakasenta karasobora kugara bagenzi banga isomero nabaketegereze cyo gukora nyewe mbehoga nimba yamba kandi tukaba twine n'obuloni bavuhire yine bamanya obunda agenda sentence za gukora kikuiza nkagumisiriza twakora cyonko bunalinda nyikalire na mzee yayenda kuliza radio nibwo nahulire weitu akiki nyina abaronga ha program na assistant ha Unique FM Kyenjojo batere humuranga go kutandika hanuna kuleta abana kijuiga nkahuliriza muzee yampa amagezi nkabamuhulire ono nagamba kuja mwa Chemani RDC nkajwambora Chemani obuna mukagwiza yanyikirizamu yangamba akimanyire yampe ebarua obunezire Kyenjojo nejuza fomu bangamba kulindaho obunalinzira karaba hakaire kake natungiye simu neza Kyenjojo batugamba ebiro byokwiza kutandika hanuna hisomero bikaba bisatu kwa munana obunezire bakatangira kurungi weitu akiki webale kutoha abantu abazaire nkaiwe bakatangira mindset change timu na timu ya ba instructors bona mukuraba mulingo gona tukasomesibwa kuraba mukilasi nyowe nkaba nintwara welding akuba niye kaba choice yange nkasoma kurungi baitu obwirobu na mindset change timu netwegesa obu narugira hanu nkagenda hanyuma yemyezi mukaga hano kuhwayo nkagenda nkayika Cyenzozo nkasaba munywani wanga yali mutawuni ne workshop nkamara umwaka gumundi mfield ntakagarukaga no mucyaro banyebwa batandika kunsera nkabona nkasya bagambaga nakoragwe mulimo gwe mitwale 5 ne bampa gumu nagumisiriza obu namazire kwase binkwenda nkagaruka mucyaro na yiya na mami twale masizoni nagaruka obu nagarukire ebintu nalimba kwasiza natandika kukora mpora bampa yoga sente zitaitengeri nalinyikana no mugurusi na ndinda tinkusasura renti natandika kusevinga na sevinga ga sente zo nisukumira mama na zitamukitebe yala ya mabara abiri buli wiko buna bagamfunire mtwale 3 ni yonkutaye mtwale 2 ni yonkutayo nyezi na bagantungire zone hanyuma yakaire kake omusiro gutwali tulimire mukakera nakoragana na mama yankirizamu nkaba nakasevinge mitwala na 3 twasarura na toyamwe mitwaro nkaga na musanzu nkasobora kugura masini ye mitwaro 9 enkuru etalensi yaka ubunaguzire masini yegi najahuza hayina neiba wangi una mazina gumizamu ni nkora hanu batandika emirimo nali nkwasiza batandika kunsasura akasente karungi natandika kusevinga hanyuma ya wiki emitwale 5 ezindi nizindolera bwokuba na yerisago obwiro bwamazire kuhinguraho hati omukura mukasumi yako nyongera kugura yo masini ya gureinda kuraba mukusevinga na mami wange anyoholezaye mukibine mitwara 25 nyongera ngora gureinda ye mitwara 5 nayo nje ahura ubuhara bireho amezi 5 nkasobora
way. So government in a plan yabarisa n'abahingi omunyankono babeta abamache narashabache abacheke bete batarabanako bache abacheke abache at PDM abakwa miliyoni emwe buri inju narashuburi buri household ejo niyo kategori nibo buyambi bwa government obwe kwinira abakurenze ekina no garke ruguru abontu beta medium and large scale commercial farmers abahango ho mbweno bumwe n'umuntu bantu bahereza za tractor ntuzihereza za cooperatives abetereine tractor ntuzihereza omulisa naro muhinjo muhango orukujibasa kugikozesa akagireberera tractor ntuzihereza amaramizo againe emisire muhango na za farm. Now mwamuri group mwerundeine ni muhinga chango ni muhingirente ni muhinga ebichori ni muhinga emyani group ezo abantu banye ba district abari kweta district production coordinators na ba member ba parliament baba manyo mu district yanyu bakabahandika ntubahereza omugisha ntubahereza tractors ezo tractor of course tinyingi munonga kushikabura hamwe konka buri mwaka omu Uganda yona ntubantu gabanka tractor bishatu narishimaganana mbwenu benye mukatushaba tractors ba MPs bakandetero kushaba kwanyu amaramizo gataraga monaga moga kanshaba ayita kashikire ntujya kubahereza tractors ezo konka tractors ezo ziriheberagiro mukimanye kuturabahe tractor mwine kugirebera kuturabahe tractor mutashaba tractor mutene kingu kugihingisa twakizora ngo tumwine kimu kugihingisa ba RDC na ba diso bakatuhereza intelligence ntujakira akwa negumerye ekikwato kya government. So nimbashaba mwana mura abantu twahere tractor bakugikozesa kubi bakuzishombe semishenyi mutugambire tuterere district commander jakire speed tugihereze omukichekani cyo kimwe abakwasa kugikozesa ecyo mukikwate ekyakashatu nituhereza abetereine narashabanta bakushoza amatemengi za kula mbwenu ntungire report ngo Kyegegwa hariho diary itu abaheire program ya agri-led nkukonka yote rukora tinkumanya abwenki ente mukazitahi ninshabakawo wa Kyegegwa ntakarigiraha na district production coordinator muje mu ndebe mungambere kikufa hadaya rejo ntige nakishobora rejo ntakarigira RDC Kyegegwa district oba DVO boha na kao mumpero pota abo nkitaro kukora natunga ko na report y'obutare nabo bwa Kyegegwa ninza kutunga report yona nayo mbikoreho so ombugufu abeterene abaine obulisa n'obuhingi obuhango ntubahereze byoma ebyo kwongeraho mutindo ahamate akusebichori ahamyani ntwongera twine byoma by'imyane bitukubongera twine project ensya eituru kweta climate smart Kyegegwa na erumu kamwengeriyo kabareriyo neja kuba nekora aha kuongera ha mutindo gwebihingwa byanyu nebimukushozo mbulisa dairy and dairy products ekikuru no kureba ngu imwabebembezi beitu ba NRM groups azimwaza kutuhereza kuyamba mutuhereze groups ezukukora ebiribyo mureke kwikiriza abari kweta ngo ni CDOs bakabahereza groups ezitariho ezibataho butaho ngo zitunge obuyambi bwa government ekikukyera kuretera ebintu bya government byabarakozesibwa je omurujunga kibari kweta white elephant nikiba kirigirira har group eyimwe atore ine kutuhereza ngo tuhekyomekyo mwatora n'abantu bateine mirumo erikwetenga ekyoma tukabahereza ekyoma kibatakwetenga nibakikozesa busha noshanga bamwe bari kukiguza naraba kukipangisa kandi ekyo nikihenda amateka kandi obwo shanga omugombo rejo harimo abakubasa kukikozesa ekindi ekiturabe ntukora omu program ya climate smart ntukija ku bantu bahwera imwe aba district kutindo obutindo tuzurunguto obutindo n'obusharra oburyo mu magomborra ganyu obutare mu plani ya central government kandi obutare mu plani yenguto eza district omururimi rwaitu ntukyeta road chalk ekintu ekindigiro oruguuto ngoba kukinrura akasharra nkoko program ya climate smart nambone mwabuza ba engineer banyu twabashabira obusharra obwo obutari ha map ya ekibari kweta coded roads nezeza central government oko turukuzayo hamwe nezanye za district oko turukuzayo konkezo munda community roads hari yakasharra karukubateganisa ntubayamba echa muheru ni mpura mwine bwaniro bingi so tinkwenda kubasibyaho echa muheru no kumiza mu muhabura abantu okutorana ebihingwa ebinakatare kandi ebirukwera omu mataka g'ekicweka cyanyu abahingisa ba Uganda abamagomborra muterero w'ekitinisa omungaro musime akawongeza emishara yabo abahingisa bahagomborra mu kihurreki omuhingisa wegomborra owa veterinary wahagomborra esente ze bari kutunga nizibasa kuba nizikira zabakawo tinkwenda kubigamba mbwena abantu abo tubakinerwe kwatso yona nakache okubura kukora emirimo eyi government erikuba tumakukora amagomborra gakubagainemwe emyanya ahi batakijwize by extension workers inakusima minister Kasaija na minister mugenzi wanjye Magezi turiyo planning kureba ngo mwabatunga itwe nka ministry ya agriculture buri mwaka ntugaba piki 300 nitwenda buri umwe wahagombora umuhingisa owa veti abeine piki yo kuzombantu mbwene no abamwe mbana muntera minister twine ndwara yo mwana minister embuzi zaitu nizirwara zifa tukizibaga tushange kine kijunziri mbweshi minister obotera minister no bweshikiri konko mushaho wanyu wa district wakata kungambere kiruho nakoraki kandi wegombora nakoraki owo muzeyi Kasayija yadaburingiro mushahara gwe so bayero C5 ba kansara bantumo marike kuba byafandumu ombicweka byanyu murwanire ebicweka byanyu habo kuba president Museveni takwira kuba omagomborra ganyu endwara yenyameshwa endwara yebihingwa abahingi sabu mwino magombora nabakugu kumanya endwara ejo netambwa ki keko barema kwetegereza bayinorosa kutugambira aho naho o ministry ya agriculture tukabatsinikira bakugwa abakubakiraho tukabayamba nikibakiri okunaga ijure mirimo ikibaro kweta kwingana abuse of office kushanga umuhingisa omugomborra harimo endwara obana kajunde obana ka munyogombo yebicori obana kakoko komwitaka akakwitenteze njungu kandi oboke ino mbazi go katsirka mu ineveta ryaho navuga piki ya government naza hamfu kumwanjura cyonke n'ikintu cyo kikwitse kiniga imwe bebembeze mufaha abantu banyu itowetu nturwana koko botarweine tenora rwanda kiceka cyanyu buririsho no gukora ki no kwerira rwangisiriza mu rukigambo rwangisiriza mwange bitahikire tureke kubura ebintu bikafo mu kiceka citu abashomesa bakabura kushomesa government tekozire niwe government iwo mubembezi w'ikiceka cyanyu aba bari abepande n'abapakasi imwe abebembezi ni munyampara banyu babantu abo echaha muheru ejwa tubeyikirize kwiguro butare konka mwantabora ningaraka nimbukoma muhurre ba DVO tubeyikirize kwiguro butare tukabahereze mbazi yo kujemente zona omagombora mujine muterere muzeyi Kasayija omungaraka twesente muterere ngaro konka ba DVO embaze ejo nibagibika oshango babikobora gwa wabayishebu mubarabure ninja kutsindika general isoke na abayora general isoke no mumanya no komanda wo kurwana soburu bwenguzi so ba DVO please I know some of you may not know English runyankore hear this we gave you FMD vaccines they are not for storing in your stores forever deploy your vet sub-count officers to vaccinate all animals. Let your respective cows submit to MAIF the money for fuel. We have that money. Esente kumara bimutazi inezo kutambuza abantu hapichi kawo wanyu atugambira habwenje mutaka zitungire. Nimbe manyebi nanye nabazinsha bakashaba minister kashwimwe nanye nimbe manye. Mureke kuganzi yes ombero byo meisho ntuja kubana ntshashuzo mbazo ogwo shiringi kashanju kanana burindi doze emwe omwaka zibe doze ibiri konko bwa hati ekyo tukikatandikiri so government ne Rwanda sejwa akakoko ko mwitaka akari kwitendezanyo zenjungu mwazo mu era mu mwazo mbantu baguze mbazi vaccine gizireta erumu ejo no mugiye gurra habakwa government tayine sente abahingisa abamwe mbamwe nakakoko ko mwani akarkomya amataji omuhingisa yija akakutayayira akashanga ejo bageta twig bora na kore koko kwasa kutema kataji okakatwara okakotsya ekiteki kikabura kuturura kiri yes nabegesa hariho na miringo eyimba kubasa kwitamu ngakamunyogombwa nobu akotaine sente nyingi zo kuronde mbazi ya chemicals omuhingi omurungi nabasa kwegesa akugira tuwakwata kero y'omwonyo omwonyo n'umukumanya gwa habari watu wakwata kero y'omwonyo okakwata kiribiriza omo okabitabura omu drum yebjerkani obana 20 okatabura no fuhire bicori kamnyogombo yo neregereta neyof abahingi sebyo babimanya konkata bakwenda kubashikaho so bakao n'abeshengereze ba RC5 n'abeshengereze ba RDC ba diso mwine kibari kweta district security committee mureke kuteka rutenda security kumanyisa abahekera bonka security nikimanyisa enjara abantu kwinga ebikureba bikafa egyo nayo ni insecurity mwana mukiko mukachiko ka district ka security committee egeshikire kuba agenda yo kugamba ho mukakatiriza abantu babane beyibo mwana gwabahingi abashuma bo mwana hata babeyire cyamana abantu nibarwana kuhinga bari nabo barwana kwiba RDC ogo no munumo gwawo abantu mbatayire mukore security baraza bakireretse mbakwate mubihe mu campaign oyibere bamukwate areke kurya tutu yoriya orukututuka akaza kusharura hata hingire nkenyonyeze gazitahingire ebire bya Bible ngo nyonyeze gazitahingire konki twine kuhinga tukasharura ebyitu na nebyo bikemwe bare munonga movement oye nimba shabaka ruka movement mukama baherezo mugisha
mongero bugaro White Honorable Minister hotabaire habaire chikaguzo kimo kionka ngo diary ya Kyegegwa bakaija bagirinovetinga bajombeka kurungi hemalire byoma tibirimu abantu mekaguza kiki ekigena maiso ekikaguze kindi kigena wa minister arona katala kandi akaruyonza nako nibagamba kakasigara muhanda ekikaguze kindi kyo cha minister wa works nibagamba ngo ba contractor nibabahereza 1.5 or 1.1 billion kukora rugudo baitito a district batuhereza bilioni yemo kole ngudo zona mazimako nikisoboka kole mihanda ejo kandi buinganiza mwebale muna barungi honorable munyikirize ngo bwire bagende tugendaho baitu munyikirize agato mulitwe twateranizibwaho wekitinsa minister kandi wekitinsa minister Alice Kaboyo na junanizibwaho habwe chweka chetu kinu kiona na Tooro region erimu Luwero Triangle baitu nyenda kwanza kumusima mama Alice itwe nkabantu bacyaka na munomono Kyegegwa okatwereza amabati bitano nekinana kurufinga amasomero ga government ndukusima mama webale muno kutugonza webale muno kandi webale kora ihangalitu Uganda mama ijo gambira abantu bawo
enare moye mubeireki veterans balinka ningoza kubarora mkona haiguru mwebare kwija ebintu biri byonka numbazaki ebintu biri byonka echo kubanza ninyenda kubasima abantu ba Kyegegwa okusupportinga NRM muturana mukisupportinga emyaka yona kandi mukajurwanira kunogira ngo tumurarwa ine tumurasupportingira abantu obabere nibarga kabamba kurabaha orutaro rukano rukwera Kyegegwa ekintu kya kabiri ebiro mwenda Juni okwo kwezo kurukwisha twine Heroes Day ne yanyu veterans ogwo mwaka neja kubera ya ntonde nimbeta nimbaraliza mwije mbwingi mwije ya ntonde murorangane aba veterans abihangariona mwishe murebane mumanyane kandi omukumanyana nuko kugumyaho NRM ntubetenga tutandikireho murumo gwo kuguma wa veterans aba district zona kugira izoba ryo guma numugire baraza numuganira radio zanyu numuganira abana bato ebingi ebimwarabire mutu bakumanya numwetenga okubashomesa abo kuba NRM nesha kurgamu mwaguma mutahembere mu rogo oguna hurra honorable kamuntu nabagambira ngumuhembo mu rogwache mwahurra mukama bebe mbere.
Mumutero bugaro. Enaremoye. Museveni oye. Munyikirize hagati omulitwe twateranizibwaho ekitinisa Honorable Rwakajara na kikira abakozi the workers nambere aliho na yemera bahubireho kandi tukumanyira ntukusima webale kuija mu Tooro region kandi iwe all international kuno hona wawe district yona yawe webale muno ekitinisa kwa naitwe monyoyere munyikirize nsobole kutangira ekitinisa Honorable Kunihira Agnes abwoli kan chairperson gender ninkusaba namberola abwoli mama imukia emikono ohubire abantu ba Tooro ntukusima muno webale kwa naitwe munkirize tuongereo sazi na program yetu owekitinisa engineer Wani from the Ministry of Works aija tsobororeho hansonge nkuru muno eyabantu imurukumanye yemehanda engudo nimanye nywe na hamurabire obekina mukihulire baitu leko musaijo naija tsobororeho no mulingoki government wetekanize kusemeze mihanda yetu webale muno ninkusaba oije osoborora abantu banu kolase kuruga ka mwenge ekaija kagarukira ampara mutauni etaikira kolasi ya Kyegegwa kikire orugudo kuruga kazo kwika ampara Kyegegwa muzizi kwika kibale karuguza katuka kakurwaga kuire 28 ninga ababa ironi mukimanye myaka 20 ruma mu manifesto mu bracket batekaho if funds are available ndukusaba waitu engineer obigarukemu. Thank you so much. Insaba ba members of parliament abataka signingire memorandum na ba LC5 zabanyakuliyo muije kuno musteke mikono obwire butkwasire nimbasaba muije nisaba naba kusavinga lunch obwire mugisibeho habo kuba obwire butkwasire program nambe twahika owekitinsa ale kuba naitwe omukaira akake kati mwebale muno.
Thank you so much, MC. I'm Engineer Isaac Wani, Commissioner, National Roads. I'm here representing the Honorable Minister of Works and Transport in charge of transport, who is within the region, but he is attending to other programs related to this activity. Now, to start the presentation, early last year, towards the end of last year, government implemented the program, the policy of RAPEX, which is rationalization of government agencies, and the Uganda National Roads Authority and Uganda Road Fund were brought mainstreamed into the Ministry of Works and Transport. They have now become departments within the Ministry of Works and Transport, and therefore the functions which were being undertaken by Uganda National Roads Authority and the Uganda Road Fund are now being provided by the Ministry of Works and Transport. So the regional offices in Fort Portal for which were providing services as Uganda National Roads Authority are still available. So if there's anything to do with national roads, please, our regional office in Fort Portal will provide those services. Now, all districts in Tooro sub-region received the equipment, and I believe they are doing a good job in maintenance of the district and community access roads. In terms of the road network, especially the national roads, all district headquarters within the sub-region are connected by tarmac. What is left key is basically maintenance, because some of them, including the road from Mubende, from Mitiana, right up to Kienjojo, have become very old, and therefore they need to be maintained. But government has so far rehabilitated the section of the road from Kienjojo to Fort Portal up to Ruimi, which is a border of the sub-region with Kasese. Now, in regard to Mitiana Mubende Road, the road was contracted out, and the works were expected to have been completed early last year, in 2024. Unfortunately, the contractor suspended work because of delayed payment, but the cabinet and the parliament processed a supplementary budget. The contractor was paid last week. We expect works to start on this road by Tuesday next week. Now, with the suspension and delay, the works are now expected to be completed by February of 2026. Within the sub-region, there are projects which have commenced, and one of them is the road that starts from Kihura, Bwizi up to Kahunge, with a spur to Mpara. The works have already been commissioned. Groundbreaking has already taken place. We expect the contractor to fully start the works by August. Currently, he's mobilizing equipment so that all the equipment are in place and the road works start. The next one is a road that is under plan from Kamwenge now going to Dura. We are currently undertaking detailed designs, and once that is completed, we'll look for money. It is one of the key priority roads in NDP 4, which begins July. The road from Mubende to Kyegegwa to Kenjojo, it's also in bad condition. We expect to undertake rehabilitation works. Our in-house team is going to do some bit of maintenance works, and this will start in June for us to fix the potholes as we plan for its rehabilitation once we get the money. Now, there is a very key road within the sub-region, Fort Poto, Kijura, Karusoke, Katoke. This road has been planned in NDP 3. We experienced challenges to do with resources. We are now planning to undertake detailed design of this road, and it is a very key road that has been planned in NDP 4. This road is going to be done in the NDP 4 period. The other key road is the road that has been alluded to by the MC, the road that starts from Kazo through Kabagole to Kyegegwa, Hapuyo up to Karuguzo. This road is very key. We have so far completed the designs of the first part from Kazo up to Kyegegwa, and the Minister of Finance is mobilizing resources for us. We believe that in the next 1 year, we should be able to start works if these resources are availed to the Minister of Works and Transport. MC, I think that's the summary that I can give in terms of the major road works within the sub-region, including update on the key projects that are going to take place within this area. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. That was the presentation on works. I now want to open up before we open up the floor, I'd like to ask the Minister, Honorable Galabuzi Sozi, who is the former Minister for Luero and now the National Coordinator of PDM. There were a number of questions that you asked him, so I'd like to invite him to answer those questions. And then the Minister of Local Government will answer some questions, and we will open the floor for you to ask us more questions.
Thank you, Honorable Anite. I have here about 16 contributions in either form of suggestions or questions. The first one, there's a gentleman who was wondering why the order shouldn't start with mindset change rather than agricultural value chain development. I don't think you should mind about the order of the pillars, pillar 1, pillar 2, pillar 3. It is how you implement. It's the order of implementation. And with the order of implementation, we started with creating the structures, which is pillar 7. Then mobilize the communities into enterprise groups, which is pillar 5. Then registered them, which is pillar 6. Then taught them agriculture, which is pillar 1. then gave them money which is pillar 3. And we are now in the process of making sure that infrastructure is set and that the social services for human capital development are also taken care of. So it doesn't matter the order, but logically, that should be the logical flow. Now, the issue of extortion is everywhere. And members, the good thing here, we are at a leaders' meeting. We are all leaders here. The issue of extortion, which can be taken in the bracket of corruption, is not a challenge for the central government only. The purpose of decentralization was to make sure that there is leadership at the lowest level of administrative structure. Now, if I see a leader coming here telling me to find a solution for corruption at a local government in his village, I really wonder what the purpose of his leadership is. The purpose of leadership is about all of you, the councillors, the LC3s, the MPs, is oversight of government programs. If there is any corruption or an extortion, you are the first line of reporting. And this is when I will also get time, if we get time, Honorable Anite, we call these RDCs, the cows, to tell us why. Because now for me, you can't start reporting to me what is happening in your village, yet you are the leader in that village. It just doesn't make sense to me. And for me, I'm sorry, I'm going to be very open with you and as callous as possible. So, the RDC of Chenjojo, Kyegegwa, and Chitagwenda, can you please come here? Just come and stand here. Actually, all the RDCs who are here, please you come in front here. The RDCs, please come in front here. All the 7 of you. Because these are your questions to answer, not me. But also the local leaders, if there's been extortion of money and briberies, that is criminality. That is criminality, and you leaders should liaise with the RDCs. So RDCs, be ready, most especially the one of Chenjojo, you had the complaint. Now, I will also summarize this issue of infrastructure, which is prioritization of electricity. That one has to be done. Hook or crook, and I agree with you that we cannot do processing without electricity. Now, there is a lady who asked about death of a beneficiary. What happens when the person dies? The loan doesn't die. That loan was guaranteed by a person who picked it, but it's for the homestead. It is for the homestead. So they have to continue paying. So there is no escape there. Now, I already mentioned the issue of equity. The issue of big parishes versus small parishes, I told you we are going to use UBOS data, and we are going to use an algorithm which we shall put into the system to tell us which parish should get more money than the other. I've already given the example of Nakasero 1, where the president's residence is. It's also a parish. There are places, by the way, where I was in Tooro, and the people in Tooro were telling me that the homesteads are finished. They don't even know what to do with the money we have given. They're probably going to start doing round 2. But very soon, we are going to be sorting that one out. Now, finally, because there were many questions, but I've compounded them. The PWDs and all special interest groups. You have members of your committees. For example, there is a member of the PWDs on the PDC. He is the one supposed to advocate for the monies for the PWDs. And I don't see why we have to be involved. That's why we put that leadership, the oversight leadership of the Parish Development Committee. Same goes to the NRM leaders. There was a district chairman NRM complaining that they are not involved. But your chairman LC2 NRM is on the PDC. We cannot put everyone, before you know it, even the 30, the ones you've just elected, will say they also want to be part of the committees of oversight. The LC2 chairman, NRM, is there on the PDC. He should be giving you information as the whole structure of NRM. Same goes with all other special interest groups. The youth, if you're complaining, you have a youth representative on the PDC. That is where you should channel your efforts of either both oversight or even the implementation. Now, the road units for the big districts, engineer didn't answer that, but I know about it. That one, we first did pro rata and said every district should have. I'm going to give you an example. I come from Wakiso. Wakiso is the biggest probably district in Uganda, but we also have one road unit. That is also going to be sorted out. We are going to sort out those issues slowly but surely. Kamu gwe muchi, gwe muganda. Now, the statistics, there was clergy who asked me that the statistics are not giving a picture on the ground. Now, let me tell you, technology doesn't lie. Whoever gets money, I see them in Kampala. Because we use your phone, you get the money on the phone.